What's up, family? It's the manhood mentor, Jabar Lance Brown, the 6-foot giant, reporting for duty. Yes, sir. Huh? Hello. And today's lesson is considered Men Make Moves and Not Excuses, right? And we've titled this lesson in that way to emphasize the importance of making more moves and less excuses, right? Now, check this out. Men, we make moves. We don't make excuses, right? It is not the responsibility of your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your cousin, your aunt, your uncle, your best friend, your son, or your daughter to provide you with the lifestyle you say you want, right? As a man, it's your job to provide that lifestyle for you and for your family. And it'll be you and your team, along with your pool of resources, being used in an effective way that'll make this thing happen. It's called making moves. And you'll have to make a ton of moves if you're going to perform at a high level in life. Your life is about you. Your family stability is also about you. Being the type of man who understands that he must go out here and make the types of moves necessary that provide you the lifestyle that you truly deserve, right? Men make moves, not excuses. Now, whether or not these moves turn out to be the right move or not depends on how well you execute. In order to increase your chances of being successful in manhood, you will certainly need to understand people and how the mind of a person actually works. You'll have to understand what causes people to give you the cooperation required for your moves to pay off. When you step into the arena of manhood, you're now in the arena of a solution provider, not only for yourself, but for all those other people who are connected to you in some kind of way. You see, our actions are habitual. These habits are formed in the mind and manifest in the moves being made. When we understand the habits of our mind, then we can habitualize making better moves, making better choices, and making better decisions. Most men tend to blame external circumstances when we fall short or fail to make the right move. And no matter how convenient this mentality can be, it is no less useful to the man who knows how to make moves. For this man, he knows that in order for his moves to pan out, he'll need an attitude of victory, right? This man knows that it'll boil down to how well he can position himself and reposition other people on his team to provide the help he needs to call his play. As a man, knowing what you want will make your decision easier to make. In fact, knowing what you want will make it easier to make moves, period. Right? Stop wasting your time daydreaming with indecision. When you allow indecision to prevent you from making a decision, this is an indication of one of two things, right? It's either one, you're lacking clarity on the move that you want to make, or two, you're actually unprepared to make the move you said you want to make. Lacking clarity and a lack of preparation equals a lack of move being made. Moves that can benefit you, your family, and your future. Look, champ, we're talking about your life, okay? And I don't want you standing by on the sideline while the game of life is happening all around you. I mean, life could be happening to you right now for all I know, and all I know is this here. I could respect it more if the moves you're making unconsciously offended someone or you inadvertently took advantage of someone than if your moves consciously and willingly put you in a position to be taken advantage of. Huh? Hello, I said I can respect it more if the moves you're making unconsciously offended someone or you inadvertently took advantage of someone, but I can't accept it if you consciously and willingly put yourself in a position to be taken advantage of. Why? Because a man should never willingly create a vulnerability within himself. For this behavior is counterintuitive to the first law of nature, right? And the first law of nature is called self-preservation. Men make moves, not excuses. And when we have to make moves, we have to make moves that make sense. You understand? I don't just take responsibility for me cooperating with myself. I also take responsibility for the cooperation I get or lack thereof from other people as well. Because it is my actions toward them that influence their decision to help make the move or not, or to help me make another decision as a result of their reaction that I helped to facilitate. Now, I give you an example, right? One time, it was this beautiful woman I wanted to date, right? And when I approached her, she said that I was too young for her at the time. Now, I could have blamed her and said, well, she said I was too young. But no, I took responsibility for my response and her response toward me. So I replied, well, you should never judge a man on his age. You should always judge a man on his actions, right? And needless to say, that one adjustment in my approach toward her had changed her reception toward me. And ultimately, the move that I wanted to make came to fruition because her and I ended up dating and having a beautiful relationship throughout our time spent together, right? Now, you see, I took responsibility for the response and I took responsibility for the reaction to create the outcome that I wanted to have, right? I took responsibility for the move that I wanted to make with her. I didn't allow her initial response to derail my move. I presented the right reaction to the resistance and got the outcome that I wanted. I was prepared, I had clarity, and I knew what move I wanted to make. Now, when you're making moves and calling your plays, don't just think about yourself and what you need to do. Think about the other people who need to be influenced by you and in what way, okay? Think about the responses you'll need to get from other people. Also, think of ways you can be more persuasive in influencing other people as well. Now, in order for you to know what moves that you should make, you'll have to have a plan. Having a plan allows you to maintain the right perspective when you do experience resistance toward the moves that you're making. You cannot possibly make the right moves in your life if these moves that you're making aren't tied to a plan. It's like having extra pieces to a puzzle that don't contribute to the completion of the puzzle. They don't fit, right? They're unnecessary. So while we're at it, let's look at the definition for the word move or moves, okay? Which means to progress in sequence or to go forward. The word move means to progress in sequence or to go forward. Men make moves, not excuses, right? Men must progress in sequence and men must go forward. Huh? Hello, I said men must progress in sequence and men must go forward. Men make moves, not excuses. Come on, man. I'm talking about what I'm talking about for a reason. I know it's somebody out there listening to what I'm talking about and going to do something with it. Some man or some men out there are going to take what I'm saying and start making moves the correct way and in sequence, leaning forward and stretching themselves beyond their comfort zone into a better life, into a better situation, and into a more fulfilling lifestyle. Think about your life as a whole. Designate what you want out of life and designate what'll belong to you. See it in your mind. Feel it in your spirit. From there, allow that experience to influence every move you make hereafter, right? That's what we have to do as men. We have to make moves, not excuses. Moves that our wife can be proud of, moves that our family can be proud of, moves that our kids can be proud of, moves that God can be proud of, and most importantly, moves that we as men can be proud of as well.